Good morning, everybody. Hopefully those of you who are in North Carolina are enjoying the white stuff that fell from the sky. For those of you in other states, North Carolina is experiencing the wonderful winter weather that we so rarely get. Next slide. So today on this agenda for the industry networking workshop is to do some welcomes and introduction, give a little bit of background information, and then the bulk of the conversation will be to give you the opportunity to speak to others. So everyone will be given 90 seconds to introduce your company, what you hope to bring forth towards the project, and then next steps. And if we have any time at the end or throughout the conversation, if you have any questions, feel free to use either the question pod or the chat pod on the webinar. Next slide. So just to introduce who is speaking today, my name is Heather Hildebrandt. I'm with the North Carolina Department of Transportation. My group is overseeing the deployment of the NEVI funds. With me, but not pictured, is Paula, because she's going to be listening in, but you can see her up there. And then Justin Robbins with HDR is our consultant support for the NEVI deployment, and he will also be speaking today. Next slide, please. So again, just to reiterate the purpose of the event, it is focusing in on trying to, again, make those partnerships. During the last RFP, we had a similar program where entities who were hoping to participate in the NEVI program were able to come in, talk about their company, what they were hoping to bring to the table, what kind of partnerships they were looking for. And this is really your opportunity to help prepare for our next procurement, which will likely be released late February, early March, to make those connections that you need to have a successful team in developing a NEVI application. Next slide. So what are the program goals? So North Carolina DOT's goals for the NEVI program is to build out an easily accessible EV charging network, to increase network reliability. Some of that is a federal requirement as well, with a 97% uptime. But we also want to make sure that there's an equal distribution of benefits, particularly with historically disadvantaged communities. So right now with phase one, we are building out primarily along the alternative fuel corridors. So that is very prescriptive as to where we need to build. And the map that has been released earlier this year, or actually late last year, kind of outlines where we're looking to develop in this next phase of funding. But in phase two, we will have opportunities to do different infrastructure across the state. We're also looking to expand economic and workforce development opportunities and to promote reliability during emergency events, whether those be outages, hurricanes, rock slides, things of that nature. Next slide. And I believe this is you, Justin.
You're right. Hi, everybody. Justin Robbins. So I want to give an overview of the way that this program has been conceived, basically since the NEVI program came out, at least on behalf of North Carolina. And so North Carolina DOT, North Carolina is receiving $109 million in federal funding. And that's a program funding that each state gets its own allocation, basically, to build out these fast chargers. The original intent was to support the development of accessible, reliable, and equitable EV charging network across the country. And so each state has the ability to implement the program in different flavors, but at the end of the day, that's the overall intent, is fast chargers along key corridors within the country and throughout the United States. Funding for the installation, so North Carolina is going to require about 50 chargers, or 50 stations rather, along major corridors throughout the state. And then 9 stations have been awarded through the round one at both national level corporations and small businesses. And that was one of the intents when we worked to structure the program, is to make sure that it allows local businesses an opportunity to participate and really doesn't kind of allocate it for just the big players. So within phase one, and so there's 2 different kind of nomenclatures that we use. Phase is overall kind of big pieces of the program. Phase 1 is where you have to build out the corridors, and then phase 2 is the intent is to look more towards community funding or community infrastructure. Rounds is another one that you'll hear, and round will have several rounds of funding that go out as part of phase 1, just to make sure everybody's clear on the way this works. So we intended the round 1 within phase 1 to get a good sample of the geographies within North Carolina, the different types of corridors that we would look at, east versus west, north versus south, mountain versus urban, rural versus coastal. All those pieces essentially is the way that we looked at the siting for round 1. And round 2 is what we're all here to talk about today. So phase 1, that's where we're looking at the alternative fuel corridors. Those are all privately owned charging stations that have to be spaced less than 50 miles apart along those corridors, and they have to be located no more than 1 mile from the corridor. So essentially, as you're driving around, you're going to be no more than 25 miles away from one of these stations if you're on an alternative fuel corridor. You're going to be able to charge 4 vehicles simultaneously at 150 kilowatts. And so for everybody on the call, hopefully you know that provides potentially, 20 miles of range, depending on the vehicle, temperature, things like that, per minute of charging. And it's going to use common charging standards, which in this case is going to be CCS and NACS. So essentially any vehicle out there is going to be able to use the chargers. And then, like Heather mentioned, phase 2 is where we're going to be looking at the remainder of the funding once those alternative fuel corridors are built out can be spent off corridor. And we can look at things like community-based charging, level 2 charging, and that'll be a whole planning process unto itself to try and figure out the best way that those funds can be allocated. But that's yet to come. So if you want to hit next slide. I want to give an overview of the alternative fuel corridor network. So when NEVI came out in early 2022, the way that the rule was written as part of the IIJA was that these chargers had to be built along one of the, or not one of, but along the alternative fuel corridor network. So back in 2016, the Federal Highway Administration established this alternative fuel corridor program. And so that covered things like electric vehicles, hydrogen, compressed natural gas, and states would nominate corridors to that program. And so when NEVI came out, it essentially latched onto that existing program and said, great, now you have to build the chargers along these corridors. And there's some things that changed from the original one, but North Carolina made an effort to nominate additional corridors to make sure that the eastern portion of the state was as well represented as the central and the more urbanized part of the state. So the corridor map, this is essentially the palette that we're working with to build out the chargers for those phase 1 NEVI stations. And so if we switch to the next one, we can talk a little more about the requirements as part of the program. And once I drop off, Heather's going to talk through some of the awardees, and then I think we've got a map and some of the digital images that you'll be able to take a look at and see where the round 2 sites are going to be. But first, it's important to understand what these requirements of the program are. So these all have to be DC fast charging ports. So 150 kilowatts minimum. There have to be 4 ports, and they have to be able to operate simultaneously at that 150 kilowatts. So for a station, you're looking at 600 kilowatts minimum, although you can obviously add more or have higher power chargers. The chargers have to be located no more than 1 mile from the alternative fuel corridor, and that's driving distance. And if you look on the map, when Heather kind of shows the link to it, you'll be able to zoom in, and we've gone through and basically shown where the 1 mile drive shed is for each of these corridors. So you can get a sense of where those are located, but it's going to be up to the applicant to make sure that you're within a 1 mile drive of those exits. The program requires a 20% non-federal match, and that's where North Carolina DOT is going to be looking for private partners essentially to fill out the remainder of that. So what that means is any proposers are going to get 80% of the project paid for, and that also includes potentially operations and maintenance. And that has to be for a period of no less than 5 years. And so the stations must remain operational for 5 years. And this is a reimbursement program. So essentially for every year that the station is operational, a portion of the 80% funding goes back out to the applicant, and they get made whole in that way. And like I mentioned before, the chargers have to be spaced no more than 50 miles apart from the next NEVI compliant charger. And so the process that we went through, we were trying to maximize the number of sites that can participate in this while still building out an efficient corridor network. And then the idea is to take the remainder of the funds and be able to spend them off corridor or even on corridor in a way that is a little more flexible than the on corridor charging allows. And so our approach to this is what we call a cluster approach. So each one of the clusters, essentially, awardees are going to be in competition only against other people or other proposals within that same cluster. And any charger built within a cluster and the next cluster is going to be less than 50 miles apart. So again, trying to expand the number of entities that can participate while still building out an efficient network. And next slide, Heather, I believe that's you.
Thank you, Justin. So as Justin mentioned earlier, we have done our initial round of awards, which represent 9 EV charging stations across the state. So as you can see from that little map inset, we did have a good geographic spread of stations. And to the right is the list of the 9 both locations as well as the site hosts. We have a good mix again of site hosts. From gasoline or truck stop providers to shopping, grocery stores, things of that nature. So expected types of site hosts were received, and we do have a good mix there as well. Next slide. So Justin also mentioned the clusters. So this is a map of the round 2 clusters. This is going to provide North Carolina's full build out of the alternative fuel clusters. You see clusters designated in red, which is what we're calling the eastern part of the state, and then clusters that are in green. These clusters or these clusters will actually be released at the same time. However, we are giving additional time to those clusters in green in Western North Carolina to help develop applications as they continue to recover from the effects of Hurricane Helene. Next slide. So what is the timeline? So we released the cluster map in December of 2024. As Justin indicated, this is really able to, you can click on a specific cluster and actually zoom in to the parcel level to see, what properties are available that are within that 1 mile drive shed. This month, we held not only this event, which is the industry networking event, but we also had an event last week to help introduce a concept to site hosts, specifically in some of these rural parts of the state where they may not have as many opportunities for site hosts. We want to make sure that they are aware of the programs and how it works. The RFP for round 2 will be released late February, early March. And as I indicated on the previous slide, we will be releasing the RFP at the same time, but the eastern locations will those applications will be due 6 weeks after the RFP releases. The Western North Carolina will receive an additional 6 weeks, and so it will be 12 weeks after the RFP releases. Next slide. This is a kind of a visual of what our website looks like right now. So before the RFP releases, we are really promoting the use of the map so you can identify, potential site hosts where we can develop along the state. So that link to learn more about that will bring you to the map. Or you can also look down below. There is a direct link to the map there. Once the RFP opens, there will be some additional buttons that will propagate on this website. So really everything, we're trying to get everyone to come to this website for all information. So we have simplified the URL significantly. If you go to ncdot.gov/NEVI, it will bring you to this site. It will talk to you about important dates, the NEVI requirements of the mapping, the networking database, which is open and available for anyone to provide their information so people can, again, make those partnerships. But once the RFP is released, you will have a link to the RFP documents, a link to how you upload the application materials, a link for both questions as well as answers to the questions once they have been received and posted on the website. So there'll be additional buttons, but the website will still remain ncdot.gov/NEVI. Next slide. So as we kind of transition into the next segment, which I will be turning it over to our HDR partners to kind of run through, the ground rules for the webinar is you will be unmuted for 90 seconds of to give your presentation. So please make sure that your audio is connected so that we can hear you. If we can't hear you, we'll try to remedy that, but try to make sure ahead of time that you do that. You can turn your webcam on. We will be turning ours off so it doesn't busy up the screen too much, but you can turn your webcam on so people can see what you look like. Don't feel pressure to do so if you don't desire. Please, once you are unmuted, excuse me, we will have a list of the order to help you prepare. Use your raise the hand feature to be found quickly so we can find you, as there are several people who are on here ready to speak. If you have a question, there is a chat feature in WebEx. Please just type it in there and we will be monitoring that as we move forward. And with that, I will turn it over to the HDR team and I will see you in the back end as we wrap up.
I have one more thing to add, is that if you're not on this list that they're going to show, we'll let anybody that wants to speak at the end speak. Correct?
Yeah, just if you could do that, just put your name if you're not on the list once you get down there. If you have not signed up ahead of time to speak, just put your name in the chat box so we can know who to call on in what order towards the end.
Thank you.
And with that, I will turn it over.
Thanks, Heather. Thanks, Paula. So like they said, I'm just going to kind of run us through these introductions here. You'll have those 90 seconds. So this is the screen that we'll have up as you're giving your introduction. Some suggested items for what to share on the side, your name, your company name, the type of organization that you are, your interest in the NEVI program, and any partnership type that you might be seeking through this networking opportunity. So you'll see the bar on the screen here. As you give your introductions, I will have it go through animation where it will start to fade. As you can see, it's doing here. When the bar runs out, that means that your 90 seconds is up. So just keep an eye on that as we go through, so that you're kind of keeping track of your time as you provide your introduction. I've gone ahead and put about 5 names on the screen at a time just so you can prep and be ready to go. So this is going to be our first 5 groups here. So if you see your name on the screen, if you could go ahead and raise your hand, use the raise hand feature. Our team will be unmuting you in the order that we're presenting in, so that we can go ahead and get you guys through these introductions. So if you see your name, go ahead again and just raise your hand. I have put everybody who has indicated yes that they would like to do a presentation today on this list. And as Paula and Heather mentioned, if you didn't sign up to indicate yes on your sign up, you are still more than welcome to provide an introduction and just add that to the chat, and we'll do those folks at the end. So the first person we have signed up is representing City of Raleigh, and it's Rick Longobart. Are you on today?
Yeah, Sarah, I'm not seeing Rick, but I'm wondering if there's perhaps a different representative from the City of Raleigh.
If so, please go ahead and indicate that in the chat, and we can go back to that. The next person on the list is Lakia Crutchfield from Kia Chronicles.
And it also doesn't look like Lakia is in the attendee list today.
Okay. Is Ben Yahia from Power Pump on?
Not seeing Ben here either.
Economic Decisions Group, Edom.
Not seeing Edom.
Is SGS Contracting, Brant Smith?
It doesn't look like Brant is on either.
Okay. You know, I wonder, I know with the snow, I think some folks probably had some things come up, unfortunately. I wonder if the best approach, just due to that fact, if you would like to provide an introduction, could you use the raise hand feature on the screen now, and Siri can just go through and unmute folks who are indicating that they'd like to provide an introduction, and we'll just go through the list that way, if that works for the group.
All right, I'll go ahead and unmute. It looks like folks are raising hands, so I'll just go through alphabetically, and then Sarah, are you going to help with timing for folks?
Yes, perfect.
All right, sounds good. So Adam, I'll go ahead and unmute you.
Thank you. My name's Adam Sharon. I work at Chempower out of Durham, North Carolina. We manufacture DC fast chargers. We are a North Carolina-based business with headquarters in Finland. I'm looking for partnerships of all levels, site developers, owner-operators, site hosts, etc., across the state, and I'll drop my contact info, but happy to talk to anyone that's willing to talk to us, and I appreciate the opportunity to join you today.
And also this is Paula, you're free to also join our NEVI networking database, Adam, which
I believe I already have.
Okay, that's good
Does that
information. If you're on the
translate?
database, that's good.
Would that translate from the initial phase one?
Yes, everybody
Awesome.
is still on there.
Awesome.
If you signed up during round one, I should say, phase one, round one, you're still on the database. We have not changed that database.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Siri, do you want to go ahead with the next person?
Yes, so sorry, I'm clicking unmute here, and it seems like it's sticking, so let me give it one more try. Althea Nobles, you're unmuted now. Feel free to speak.
Yes, hi, this is Alethea Nobles. I own a real estate company in North Carolina named by Datakey by Alethea. I am offering other support services to our site developers, EVS providers, and site hosts. Particularly my interest in this particular program, since you all opened up the to the community for involvement, is more to be more of an informative partner to where for our EV users, trying to engage them in the rural communities and closer network communities by offering our site owners, hosts, developers informative materials. So what I like to do is collect their information and be able to share it to our communities that are not privileged and to get to some of these training events and some of these networking events that we have, and just try to keep them up to date on the the starting phases, the ending phases, and where we are, and also maybe offer to take them out to some of the sites so they know the locations, particularly those that are looking to relocate to North Carolina and to start purchasing EV vehicles, or those who already have them but are looking to find more areas. So that's my thing. I am DBE certified, small business, and I'm looking to work, like I said, any of those who could use that networking, informative material engagements through Q&A session trainings.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm working to unmute Alex Sabalith. Oh, I'm getting a self-muted message, so I'm going to try one more time. Alex, are you able to unmute? All right, it looks like there's a little bit of an issue happening here. I might ask if another one of the presenters wants to try Alex, and then if that doesn't work, we can go to the next participant.
So I show him as being unmuted by us, but self-muted.
Yeah.
So Alex, if you can hear us, you should be able to unmute your, there we go. I see you green. So I think we're good to go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, apologies for that. But yeah, my name's Alex Sevliev. I work with Eaton Corporation, which is a manufacturer of power distribution equipment as well as EV fast chargers. I will note that our DC fast chargers are not currently NEVI compliant, but would be looking to partner with anyone for their EV infrastructure needs, as far as panel board switchboards or any of the AC equipment that you would need on these type of projects. So yeah, definitely I appreciate the time and let me listen in and looking forward to working with you all.
Great, thank you. All right, so the next person with their hand up is Badi Al Namir, and it looks like you should be able to speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, hello. My name is Badia Al Nimr. I'm with Naria. We operate a family-owned and operated convenience store chain based in New England. We operate 170 sites here, and we are in the process of acquiring end-market convenience stores. They have 130 locations. They have 7 in North Carolina. 9 in North Carolina. I'm looking for some construction partners to help us with the install. We've designated what type of charging units we would use. So I will get us set up on the database. You could just email me if there are any contractors or construction partners on this call. We'd love to chat about that. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, Alandra Foster, you should be able to go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. My name is Belandra Foster. My company is BB Foster Consulting. We are located in Greensboro and Charlotte, North Carolina. And we are civil engineering, certified civil engineering. We're certified and NCDOT pre-qualified to provide inspection and utility coordination services, among other things. We actually, under the design category for NEVI, we can provide ADA design, utility coordination, security systems design, and various civil engineering. And under maintenance, we are OEM certified. We have OEM certified EVSE technicians on our team. We are, again, DBE and MBE and SB 8A and HubZone. Thank you very much. And we are also in the list in the NCDOT NEVI contractor list. So we're looking for partnerships in these areas of design and maintenance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, my chat isn't working. Is there a way to put my information somewhere? Because the chat, when I click on the chat, it doesn't come up for me to add any information. So
You
is
can
the
also
best way?
you can try, Belandra, also under questions. Sometimes for some people, questions works better than chat.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you
what I
can,
did. Yeah, I
So if
did
you,
put it under questions.
yeah, we will record all of that as well. So if you can do
Okay,
that, that's
thank you.
great. Yep.
Thank you so much.
All right. Cedron Kirksey, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Good morning. My name is Cedric Kirksey. I'm the CEO of Bancar Services Group. We're a SDVSB, NCDOT, DBE, SB, and HUB certified business, providing ADA compliant construction services, looking to partner with people who need ground up site development as well as infrastructure construction for NEVI facilities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Emmanuel Bailey, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. We represent McVie Bailey and Associates Construction. We're licensed general contractors, electrical contractors, and we are also ABB e-mobility charging equipment suppliers. ABB has the fastest charging stations in the world, and so we have them available. We are interested in partnering with organizations that are interested in our services and equipment. And I guess since the funding is such that it provides 80%, it could really catapult things if we can identify sites to work with. We are not currently listed. One of the reasons we didn't list is because we're in the process of establishing an office in Raleigh. We are out of Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, but we are certified in North Carolina, and we will be making our equipment and services available in that region. So we will be adding our information to the listing as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Erickson Felices, you should be able to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
My name is Erickson Felices. I work under Dr. Foster, under BV Foster Consulting PC, and we are based in Greensboro in North Carolina. And we're looking for organization is doing site development and site maintenance on this NEVI thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see, Gabe DePaz, you should be able to unmute. Gabe, it looks like you are unmuted, but we can't hear you if you're speaking. So I think since we can't hear you, Gabe, we're going to go ahead and mute you again and go on to somebody else, and then we'll come back to you. George Francis, you're next. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's see. George, we'll give you one more go, and then if that doesn't work, we'll go ahead and come back to you as well, but you should be able to unmute. Okay, I think we'll come back to George. The next person with their hand raised is Gregory Meyer. So Gregory, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can I put on the camera too?
Yes, please.
Okay, it's not coming on. Okay, my name is Gregory Meyer. I present Ridgetop Real Estate Investment. We are a real estate investment company. We operate in the Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem. We've been trying to install EV chargers at our property located at 338 Wartown Street. But these chargers were slow charging, and trying to partner with local nonprofit, but we found that it was not going to be helpful. And we were happy to hear about this program. And so we are located near the intersection of Highway 52 and Highway 40 in Winston, the site we are talking about. And this site, it's adjacent to dozens of historically underutilized businesses. We are close beside the neighborhood of low and moderate income families who really lack equitable access to EV charging. In Winston-Salem, we see one fast charging site on the western edge. We are on the eastern edge, and we think this place is we have about half acre of space that can be used for fast charging. So we also noticed that this place has some of the worst air quality in the Piedmont region of North Carolina. It's more than 95% nationally for environmental justice indices, really. So, and we think this place is a perfect location for fast charging location. So we are a North Carolina-based small business. We have another site on Highway 52 north of town, but this is perfect, I think. We are interested in finding partners, site developers, and for maintenance. And we are partnering, we are talking to Piedmont Environmental Alliance, and we will partner with the city and other non-profit organizations around. And I am the owner and the manager of the company, and I appreciate the opportunity to participate to this networking event.
Thank you.
Hong Zhang, you should be able to unmute.
Yes, hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Hong Zhang. It's pronounced like Chan, like Jackie Chan. Hong Chang Durandal. The company I'm representing is called Rio Nati Energy LLC. We are both a developer and as well a CSMS OCPP provided solution and payment solution. So we are both CPI compliant, NEVI compliant on all the providing the service on getting credit cards read and making sure that is processed properly. We work with directly with merchant providers and gateway providers to make sure that works with for any charger. Right? So we're seeking any potential developers or any site owners or any other small businesses that need this type of solution to comply with the NEVI requirements for chargers. Right? So we're open for that. We have worked with quite a lot of manufacturers with BTCs, Aurora, Tritium, and in the past, and we have retrofitted quite a lot of chargers that did not have the capability of taking credit card payments or secure payments on site. And we have retrofitted quite a lot of them in other states in Idaho, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Montana, and Texas too.
Thank you.
Jay Jordan, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning. My name is Jay Jordan. My firm is Jay Jordan Deluxe Realty, LLC. I'm a utilities right-of-way real estate firm. I've worked with companies like HDR, other engineer design firms on gas pipeline projects, as well as solar land acquisition. So I'm a bit familiar with renewables. So I would, definitely am interested in learning more about potentially partnering up with other engineer design, or possibly with HDR again on this project if they are subcontracting. I'm pre-qualified with NCDOT for subcontracting, DBE, Hub, SBE certified as well. And I've also worked on a few DOT projects as well in the past for land acquisition, easements. I'm a notary as well, so I'm one-stop shop for everything land acquisition wise.
Thank you.
Jim Targonsky, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, is that working now?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Jim, and our company is Spartan Power. And it's easiest if you get a chance to do spartan-power.com. We sell electrical switchgear, 35 years in the business of all your infrastructure, switchboards and panel boards that power up all these EV chargers. And we also represent your first speaker, Adam Sharon from Kempower, a local North Carolina company for fast chargers. And we also sell another level 2 charger called Atom Power. They're in Charlotte, as well as Power Flex level 2 chargers. We are small business, DBE, woman owned, headquartered here in the Carolinas, 2 locations in Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and Charlotte. And we do a lot of these electrical projects, not only in the Carolinas, but around the country. Again, spartan-power.com is the easiest way to get a hold of us. And we are very interested in the NEVI program to support your team. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Bonnets.
Yes, good morning. I'm John Bonnets. I'm with the North Carolina Clean Energy Technology Center on the Clean Transportation team. We are a public service agency of the university, and we provide technical assistance, education, training, grant seeking, and grant funding for all counties of North Carolina. We are interested in supporting the NEVI program, particularly in underserved rural communities here in North Carolina. The reason I'm speaking up on this networking event is that I want to let everyone know that we've just released our 2025 CFAT grant opportunity of $5.9 million. This is CFAT, Clean Fuels Advanced Technology. Our request for proposals was published on January 13th. And for this audience, you should know that all 100 counties are eligible for EV charger proposals. However, our projects must be 1 mile beyond the alt fuels corridor. So we're looking for more community-focused proposals, kind of a contrast to the North Carolina NEVI program, which is very much corridor focused right now. Again, we're looking for community-focused proposals outside of the corridor, beyond 1 mile from the corridor. The website with all links can be found by searching for NCSU CFAT, North Carolina State University's CFAT grant. Any Google search will bring you our website with abundant links, including the RFP, frequently asked questions, and most importantly, a link to a webinar later today at 3 p.m. So please join us, and thank you so much for the opportunity to share, friends.
Thank you.
Kevin Jessup. Go ahead and unmute.
Yes, thank you so much. My name's Kevin Jessup. I'm with JF Petroleum Group. I am in Houston. Our company is headquartered in Morrisville, North Carolina. We've got an office there in Charlotte. I'm from Greensboro, if that means anything. I live in Houston. We are a selling distributor of multiple EV charger products through distribution relationship with ChargePoint. We are Gilbarco Veeder-Root's largest distributor. Gilbarco Veeder-Root's the largest gas pump manufacturer in the world. We're their #1 distributor in the country. We've got offices over half of the United States. But focusing in North Carolina, we've got a Charlotte office, we've got headquarters there. Our relationship with Gilbarco brings to us for fleet opportunities, Chempower, ABB. We get what now is Blink, used to be the SemaConnect Level 2 products through Gilbarco Veeder-Root. And they have their own product line there launching in partnership with SK Signet. The initial focus is on convenience store opportunities, but the technology works, anywhere. Anywhere there's power, we can have EV chargers. So, I'm looking to partner, looking to discuss coordinating construction, engineering, design. Like I said, we sell the product, we do installation, construction in most of our offices in the East Coast. And then we do after sales support and service. Looking forward to pursuing opportunities in partnership with some of you folks in North Carolina. I'd like to hear from you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Louis Jurismenko.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Well, first of all, kudos for not completely butchering my name. So once again, my name is Lubin Gerasmenko. I'm a principal of Velocity Incorporated. Velocity is a US-based business advisory with international outlook that works with top management of our clients on identifying and developing ambitious transformative business opportunities in energy and industrials, involving as needed project finance or development finance. Among other things, we have helped realize infrastructure developments in excess of $2 billion, including 2.8 gigawatts of power generation capacities across a broad range of traditional and renewable technologies, some of them one of a kind. We work primarily with small and medium-sized companies in the US. One of the clients we're currently helping is a European EV charger manufacturer who wants to onshore in the US. And this is the line of work that brought us to NEVI, basically. So we are looking to partner with developers and other participants in the market along three main lines of value add, as we call it. Number one is deploying unique hardware in a form factor practically absent in the US market. Fast DC level 3 chargers up to 640 kilowatts and 4 charge points per unit with a dynamic load distribution, massively cheaper than anything available in the market right now. Number two, deploying proprietary software serving both the end users of the charging points and the operators of charging networks, including payment solution, again, cheaper than the solution currently available in the market. This can be done either in bundle with the proposed hardware or white labeled for any other hardware. And number three, helping developers and operators with fractional services to help them concentrate on the implementation of their projects while not losing sight of finance and operational processes, as frequently is the case with many small, medium-sized companies we work with. So once again, this is a Velocity, and I'm Lubin Gerasmenko. Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt Hayes. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Appreciate the opportunity to join this morning and share a little bit about our company. Pike Electric, out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, about an 80-year-old company at this point. specialize in distribution, transmission, and substation construction services. We also offer full turnkey engineering services and EPC work within the utility industry. Some of our main customers would be Duke Energy, Dominion. We also serve across the country for Florida Power and Light. We're in Dallas, Texas. So we have a pretty big footprint. Joining the webinar today to partner, look for opportunities to provide some EV charging installations for you guys in the NEVI program, among other programs that we'd be available for. But we're a full turnkey provider for EV charging installations. Most of the work we've been doing on EV charging has been primarily in our southern groups, so Georgia, Florida, but full service turnkey provider, and yeah, just looking for opportunities to partner with who we can to expand our business line into the Carolinas. And so appreciate the opportunity and look forward to hearing from everybody else.
Thank you.
Ryan Toomey, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hey, everybody. My name is Ryan Toomey, part of Toomey Engineering Corporation. We're a Maryland-based firm, but I'm located in an office down here in Raleigh. We're a full-service engineering firm, electrical, civil, utility coordination, and we've partnered with electrical contractors and other contractors to form a team to come and provide turnkey installations for these charging stations at specific sites. We have partnered with charging station provider and solar canopy providers, and we're ready to go and just looking for a site host to partner with. We'd come in and coordinate the design with them and handle the rest of the design, install, and coordinate maintenance of the sites along with them. We have significant experience in designing and installing these stations and working with state agencies to secure private and public funding for these types of projects. So looking forward to meeting some site hosts in the future, and yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Sadie Walters, you can go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Sadie Walters, and I'm the founder of Pit Stop for the Birds, a nonprofit based in Raleigh and dedicated to integrating bird-friendly habitats into stormwater management at EV charging stations, while also increasing site engagement opportunities for visitors and stewardship programming with schools and local environmental groups. So as you prepare to apply for NCDOT NEVI funding, I'd like to highlight why partnering with Pit Stop can add value to your projects and help differentiate your applications. So first of all, Pit Stop for the Birds creates a dual purpose infrastructure. EV charging stations are already hubs of forward-thinking technology and sustainability. And so by incorporating bird-friendly landscaping and nature-based stormwater solutions, we can enhance these sites to support environmental health and improve the user experience. Second, Pit Stop enhances placemaking. Thoughtfully designed charging stations with nature-based features become more than just functional stops, they become destinations. And third, we prioritize community integration. So Pit Stop collaborates with local schools, volunteers, and environmental nonprofits to engage communities in stewardship programs. So finally, Pit Stop is Pit Stop and EV charging share a scalable vision. So just as the EV market is growing rapidly, Pit Stop designs protocols are adaptable and scalable to locations across North Carolina and beyond. So we are looking for a site host, developer, or corporate partner. And by partnering with Pit Stop for the Birds, you can create an impactful multi-benefit infrastructure that aligns with NEVI goals of equity, sustainability, and resilience, while also supporting placemaking, tourism, and community integration. So thank you so much for your time. Please reach out if this is of interest to you. Again, my name is Sadie Walters, and I'm the founder of Pit Stop for the Birds.
Thank you.
Sydney Bingham, go ahead and unmute.
Hey everyone, good morning. My name is Sydney Bingham and I'm the Government Relations Manager with Francis Energy. Francis Energy is the nation's leading recipient of funding awards through the NEVI application program, and we have an experienced team working on these projects across the country. We provide a turnkey solution managing the entire process from site assessment to the application to installation, including ongoing operations and maintenance. Our mission is to transform the electrification of transportation by ensuring equitable, affordable, reliable, and safe access to public charging across America, leaving no community behind. We are open to speaking to project partners for all aspects of this upcoming application. So if anyone's interested in connecting to discuss potential collaborations for this application, please reach out. Again, my name is Sydney Bingham with Francis Energy. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Tom Delvizio.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Tom Delvizio. I work at Duke Energy. I am one of the core utility partners working with NCDOT on the NEVI program. I am based in the Triangle, but cover North Carolina. We have staff across all of our jurisdictions, South Carolina, Midwest, and Florida, and I'm part of a team that's dedicated to this line of business. So it's called Transportation Electrification Grid Readiness. Just to give you a very high level overview, in this process with NEVI, through the RFP process, we are working directly with the DOT to assess identified sites in terms of availability to power and configuration. We initially approve them on our side, so we don't actually need any requests from individual bidders. If the sites are workable from our jurisdictional perspective and our power capacities perspective, they're approved. And our guidance is standard before the point of award. So everyone gets the same guidance at the early point. Part of it is it's the time lag between sites identified and projects actually greenlit to go ahead. And we're not able to engineer projects that aren't awarded at that point. But at the point of award, we will work with every site within our jurisdiction through the DOT and the individual awardee to ensure that these projects move forward and you have the support from the utility part that you need. I'm available in general for information, but like I said, it's pretty standard on the front end. So until the awards are decided, really, we pretty much stay with a conversation with the DOT directly. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we'll go back to some of the individuals who weren't able to unmute earlier. So Gabe DePaz, would you like to try again to unmute? It looks like you've unmuted, but we can't hear you just yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can now.
Awesome, fantastic. Okay, so my name is Gabe DePaz. I'm with AK Power Solutions. I'm an Appalachian State University graduate, so especially excited to contribute to North Carolina's EV infrastructure growth. AK Power Solutions, we share ownership with Virginia Transformer Corporation, which happens to be the largest US-based transformer manufacturer in all of North America. And what AK Powers does is we bring to market an integrated power module. So this IPM contains the transformer, the switchgear, the metering in a compact skid. So it's a containerized solution with a smaller footprint, less trenching, less conduit runs, lower capex. We build these out of Virginia so we can meet Build America, Buy America for NEVI. The most brilliant thing when I talk to people is our lead times average between 24 to 28 weeks rather than upwards of 2.5 years. These are specifically designed for DC fast charging load curves. So we look at each site, each project, our engineers calibrate the K factors to tailor for the EV charging operations to optimize efficiency, safety, and reliability. The smaller footprint is ideal for space-constrained locations like C-stores, quick-serve restaurants, etc. A lot of sites that would be competing for this NEVI funding. For site hosts, owning your own power equipment offers independence from restrictive utility terms, depending on your jurisdiction. But things to consider, there's many other value propositions, but we're happy to partner with OEMs, contractors, site hosts as this develops. You could find me on LinkedIn, Gabe DePaz, AK Power Solutions. Happy to share more information, jump on a call, and looking forward to seeing how this rolls out. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then George Francis, it doesn't look like you've got your hand up anymore, but I think we had struggled with your mute button before. Would you like to try to unmute and introduce yourself?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Sorry about the earlier technical issues. I work with the City of Raleigh, and we are in the process of rolling out a EV charging infrastructure network around the city. We are working, just recently been awarded the CFI grant that we had applied for last fall. We were notified that we were approved for that, so we're quite excited about getting some federal funds to help with our project. And that's all I've got at the moment, unless there are any questions for me.
Thank you, George.
Then I'm seeing one more hand at this point. Graciela Badia, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. So my name is Graciela Badia. I'm the Rebates and Incentives Manager at Energy 5. At Energy 5, we offer turnkey EV charging solutions, empowering commercial properties to transition to electric transportation. We handle every step from equipment supply to permitting and installations, including application preparation on behalf of our customers and assisting them throughout the process. We have a proven track record of securing rebates and completing complex projects. We are a trusted expert like in the Northeast, Colorado, California. We are also expanding nationally. Also, as part of a larger ecosystem, our sister company, Utilities One, provides advanced infrastructure solutions for telecommunications, water, electric utilities, and more. So we're interested in adding a NEVI program to our portfolio for our customers. We don't have experience working with NEVI yet, and we're looking for partnerships like on all levels. So again, energy5.com is our website. Thank you.
Is there anyone else with their hand raised, Siri?
It looks like Robert Price has his hand up and hasn't gone yet. So Robert, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I gotcha. If you guys can hear me, we'll roll. Thanks for taking the time this morning. My name is Robert Price. I'm with NRG, National Retrofitting Group. We're a site developer, turnkey site developer. We got our start in 2010, working primarily with ESCOs and energy efficiency projects around high efficiency lighting, building envelope, and water management. And through our expertise and our master electricians being brought in on EVSE and solar projects, we've expanded primarily on the West Coast into site developing for EVSE projects. We've worked with municipalities and university scale projects out there. Our company is based out of Chicago, Illinois. I represent our southeastern branch and am located in Asheville, North Carolina. So this is of keen importance to myself. We're open to finding connections with site hosts, even equipment providers for becoming certified installers. Again, my name is Robert Price, and I'm with NRG, that's National Retrofitting Group.com, and I'm located out of Asheville, North Carolina. Thanks for your time, y'all.
Thank you. Is there anyone else, Siri?
Yeah, it looks like we have a new hand from Benjamin Revitt. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Ben Rivette, Dewberry Engineers Incorporated. Our company focuses on engineer. We do a lot of work for the NCDOT currently on the transportation side, but my focus is nationally with the electric vehicle design. Currently, Dewberry has designed EV stations in 41 states, 2,000 charging stations total. And that equates to about 15,000 stalls total that we've designed. So Dewberry's focus is really on the utility outreach, engineering design, and permitting. That's probably where the biggest time savings can be, making sure that we understand the local permitting requirements and getting ahead of those long lead items. So again, focus on engineering. We also do design build if that's a focus that anyone is interested in. And that's my spiels. Ben Rivette, Dewberry Engineers. Thank you.
Thank you. Siri, is there anyone else with their hand raised?
I think we might have one more. Brant Smith. You should be able to unmute.
Yes, good morning. Brant Smith, SGS Contracting. We are a general contractor construction manager based in Durham. We are DBE certified, and we perform general contracting and management services. So we're on the construction side of things. So we're looking to partner with potentially other electrical firms if they're design build options. And we could take projects and manage them essentially from start to finish. We also do estimating and pre-construction. So if there are any pre-construction service needs, we are more than capable of handling those as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional hands?
I'm not seeing any more hands.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of forward us through to the end part of this presentation, since we ended up going through introductions via the list here on GoToWebinar. But if anyone did want to do an introduction and hasn't had a chance yet, please go ahead and raise your hand. We definitely still have a little bit of time left today. And Heather, Paul, I think we have time if no one else wants to do an introduction, if anyone has any questions that they'd want to submit via the questions or chat tab, that we might be able to answer as well.
I would like to encourage everyone, I'm going to share my screen and how to sign up for the NEVI networking database, that your information will be in there permanently. Can you all see the screen?
Not yet, Paula. It still looks like it's waiting for Sarah's screen.
Well, now. Oh, here we go. Show my screen. It finally popped up. Can you all see that?
Yep, now you're good.
Okay, so this is the NEVI website, and this is where some of you potentially signed up for the networking event. You click on that box, and down at the bottom, you can register to be put on the database right here, and you can download the database right here. There's just a few questions when you register, so go back. And so we're going to ask all of you to register in the database. This will be maintained, and I'm also going to encourage everybody to download it and call people. It's on you all to call. We are not facilitating contacting anyone. So that's on you to pick names out and call. We have a lot of people on that database with a lot of functionality. Also, if it would help you when reaching out to site hosts, we have developed a one-pager with our contractors. Sarah developed this, I believe. And so this will be up on our website, hopefully later today or tomorrow. And on that same page, and you can email me and I can send it to you. And this should help you maybe with interacting with site hosts. We're trying to help you all with some information. Also, I think for Alethea, this is train the trainer information potentially. So if you wanted to use this to outreach to communities as well as site hosts. And that's all I have. So is it back to you, Sarah?
Sorry, yeah.
Hello, I have a question.
Yep. Go ahead, Cody. Or whoever, I'm
This
sorry.
this is Jay. Yeah.
Okay.
I am registered, but I need to update my information. I see some of it is old. Do I just resubmit, and it updates it that way?
You can resubmit, but then if you want, you can send me an email and I will have her, Sarah, who ends up doing this, delete your information. That's old. So just go ahead and update it, or go ahead and submit a whole new one and then tell me and we'll delete it. And we'll probably update this, if you all put your information in, we can do a big update with hopefully all of your information. If you submit it by the end of Friday, I will send the information to Sarah and we'll post it probably by Wednesday at the latest.
Okay, thank you.
So can you clarify that, please? Are you stating that we should send the information to you or somehow
No.
go into the system
You
and
should
update it? Or?
You send.
That's what.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, there is on the button that she posted on the NEVI website, there is a place if you've never entered your information for you to upload the form. The question that Jay had was if you need to update the information. So we do not have the functionality to update information. So what we're requesting for him to do is add a new record, and then we'll just delete the old record. But if you've not ever entered into the database before, you follow the link that Paula is sharing right now, and it will ask you for these fields. So your company name, contact name, things of that nature, what services you're providing. So it is a form that will then populate that database. What Paula is saying is if you do that by Friday, then we will have that updated next week. So we do that, typically no more than once a week, unless there's a lot of changes. It's just matter. What she's showing right now is what the database actually looks like if you download it. So it has all of the information that has been provided about all of the people who are interested, and it's categorized by what their field is and what they're looking for. Yeah, thanks for zooming in because it's kind of small.
Yes.
In this case,
equipment providers are here. We have equipment providers. I believe we have developers, site hosts, and then we have a category called other for anybody else.
So you're stating that because we are already in the system. So you're saying to fill out a new form and let Paul.
No. If your information, if you're on this list and your information is correct, you don't have to do anything else. This is what's been what Paula has pulled up just now is what is currently published. The question was if you have information that needs to be updated, contact information or what have you, then you would need to do a new record and then just email us letting us know that you've updated your record so we can delete the old information because we don't want to have outdated information on there.
Okay, and that's the situation we're in. We're already in the system, so we would just send an email that we're requesting an update of the record.
Yes, but go ahead and update your record, your full record, put a whole new record in, and then Sarah just has to delete the other one. That's easier than us changing it.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I have a question. Is there any update with this program and the recent executive order that was signed on Monday? Will that affect this one? Thank you.
Yeah, so we are obviously aware of the executive order that was signed on Monday and the possible impacts to the program. However, until we receive additional guidance on the executive order and what it means, we're continuing to move forward, as normal. So we are, continuing to develop the documents for the second round of phase 1 proposals. We are continuing to answer questions until that proposal is released. And if there is any additional information, it will be probably both. It will be published to the website, and or if you have signed up for the, I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but there's also, we talked about the database, right? There's also a way you can sign up for updates on NEVI. So if you have not signed up there as well, I would encourage you to do that, because if we learn anything new that we think is significant to share with everybody, we will also send out an email. So
but I think that email would go to both the database and the updates on the program.
Okay.
You can be in both, but you'll get two emails.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to be in both, but generally we're sending it out to both.
Yep. So if we hear anything more, if there is greater clarity, we will certainly share the information. But at this point, we're just continuing as business as usual. Any other questions?
Heather, this is Justin. If I can take a moment, there's a couple things I just wanted to make sure everybody's aware of, if that's okay.
Yep, go for it, Justin.
So when you all receive the RFP when it comes out, I strongly encourage everybody in the call to read the whole thing. I want to make sure everybody understands when these come back into NCDOT, the process is we make sure that they're complete. And so that's basically a check. So yes or no, is it complete? And then proposals that are not, that are significantly incomplete, we essentially have to remove. And the same thing for the technical side as well. And I don't want any applications to be removed. I want everybody to actually go through scoring and get a good, fair chance at getting a station built. An item that typically comes up on these, and I just want to make sure everybody's aware, is what a port is. And so this RFP uses the federal language that was released. And so a port, a way to think of it is it's a construct basically that is the ability to charge a vehicle. And it is different than a connector, which is the plug. So you could have a single port charger that has two different plugs or two different connectors, but you can only use one at a time. And so if you have 4 chargers, each one has a single port, each one of those is required to have 2 different connectors, one that's NACS and then one that's CCS. And I just want everybody to understand that right out of the gate, because every presentation that will be on, I'll probably say the exact same things. You have to have 4 ports. Each port has to have 2 connectors, one CCS and one NACS. So if you have any questions about that, hopefully it's clear in the RFP. But you're also welcome to ask for questions or clarification right now as well, and I'm more than happy to answer them.
We also have a lot of information on this NEVI RFP resources for applicants page. If you all can see that, this has a lot of information. It's got the important dates on it. It's got links to all the requirements and rules. It has federal laws that you have to be in compliance with, for instance, American with Disabilities. It's got the database as well. It's got the mapping, the information on the mapping. It's got information on finding the correct utility provider. And it's got the locations of existing sites on there as well, existing fueling stations, how to look up those. And then it's got all of our contacts, including Tom, who was on today, for our electric utilities. Duke, Dominion, North Carolina Electric Cooperatives, that's any of the rural or electric cooperatives, you should call Nikki Lindberg. And for the municipal providers, most of them are in electricities, and you can call Dale Odom for that. So this has got a lot of information. If we have other things that we feel like you need, it'll be on this page.
I think that concludes all of the questions and introductions, Heather and Paula. If there's anything else you'd like to share before we hop off today.
Yes, just want to thank everyone for their time and interest in the program. And as we've mentioned multiple times, and we do have a very good resource in the NEVI website. So if you have any questions about the program, you can contact us to ask questions as we move forward. Just keep in mind that once the RFP is released, we would only be able to answer questions through the new button that will be showing up, which is going to be specific questions to the RFP. But in advance of that, if you have any questions or if you want to coordinate, feel free to reach out to either Paula or myself. And again, thank you for your time this morning and now almost afternoon. And for those of you in North Carolina, I hope you get a chance to get out and see the rarity of the snow that we received yesterday. So with that, have a wonderful day, and we'll look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you.
I just put the website in the chat box in case anybody needs it. Thanks a lot for coming.